Hello and welcome to another episode of Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted.
This week, Ted and I took on Badland Hunters, Netflix, 1 hour, 47 minutes. And that's about what I can say.
Yeah, Andrew should not try to pronounce these names.
Yeah, no. This
is a South Korean movie. It's
Kung Fu Theater.
It is amazing.
It's Kung Fu Theater.
It is 80s batshit crazy, like horror movie stuff all over the place. I love this movie. I love South Korean cinema. I love it. I think it's so good.
I kind of thought this was like Asia's version of The Last of Me.
Last of Us?
Last of Us, yeah.
Kinda.
And or Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I think that the thing about...
Either one of those. It's apocalyptic.
Yeah, so it's apocalyptic. There's a huge earthquake, and all of Seoul and South Korea turns into, like, the Badlands. And there's not any water, really, and there's gangs, and there's an evil doctor who takes over where all the water is. And his little gang of people come, and they steal this girl. And one of these guys that used to be a total badass out in the Badlands, that's a pretty good guy, goes to get her back with his, I thought it was his nephew, but I guess it's just his buddy.
Yeah.
It's just his buddy.
Yeah,
and the guy that plays Namsun, the main guy, the badass guy.
Yeah.
I love him. He's in the Eternals, that Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's Angelina Jolie's like caretaker. He's great, and he's in this other movie, Train to Busan, which was like one of the best zombie movies ever made, and he plays a very similar character.
You know I watched that.
Yeah.
I was all over that.
He plays a very similar character where he just starts slamming people. And I love that the action hero in this movie is not some like Ryan Reynolds looking chiseled dude. It's this like gruff big dude that just slams people. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, what I thought was, at first, all right, you got to know that it's voiceovered with English-speaking actors. So it's not like you're sitting there watching them say something in a foreign language and then you have to read closed caption to pay attention. They VO'd it so that you can understand it. And of course, when they VO it, and this is my first thought, I wonder how different the actual South Korean script is from
the translation.
Into American. I thought they did a pretty good job when it came to matching up the mouth to the words. Mm-hmm. I thought, but there was some, that didn't happen. It was just, so that's why I call it Kung Fu Theater. Because of the voiceover.
You can turn that off.
What?
On Netflix.
Turn what off?
You can turn off the dub. And you can just watch it with subtitles.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't either because I love the dub.
I love how somebody thinks we speak because it's very broken. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was entertaining. Now, beyond that, and halfway through the movie, I totally lost focus on the VO because it became like a game of mine watching the VO. And the reason for that was because the story actually got better.
Yeah.
And better. And so now I got enthralled into the actual story of the movie, which isn't that complicated, so it wasn't like and again, it's broken English.
Yeah, the basic story is this doctor, I'm not gonna, whatever, I'm gonna ruin it. The doctor has like his upper body of his dead daughter in like a box that he carries around, and he creates this thing to try to reanimate her or bring her back, but basically it makes these super soldiers, and they're not zombies, but that's the way kill. They're hard to kill. You have to basically cut their head off.
And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to because he's got his daughter who lost in the earthquake. And he's trying to bring her back. So this apartment where his laboratory, his office, whatever you want to call it, is located is really an apartment complex. And he's inviting people there, families that have children, mostly daughters, because he's trying to put the upper torso of his daughter on the body of another girl.
Yeah.
So that's what he's trying. He's a mad scientist. So anyway, that's not really a spoiler. I'm sure you read that online.
Yeah, you need to just watch this craziness of like fighting and gore and like.
It wasn't too gory.
It wasn't as gory as it could have been.
No,
It was just. I just think it was great. This guy did a movie called.
It was entertaining. I'm not gonna call it great. I'm gonna say it was entertaining.
Oh, it wasn't great for a post-apocalyptic monster movie. This guy did a movie before this called The Good, the Bad, and the Good, the Bad, and the Weird, and it is equally as crazy as this. The
director, the writer,
yeah, the director.
Oh, okay. I was thoroughly entertained on so many different levels. I love watching the adaptation of storyline, and I wonder. Again, like I said, I wonder how different it is from the original movie. Maybe I should go and watch it now with the dubs off, and watch the closed caption on the original. Then again, it might be the same dub, just in spoken or written language. So I don't know, but I liked it.
I want you need to vote on this as like when we do our numbers here in a little bit, mm-hmm. I want you to think of it like this. I'm not ready to do numbers. I'm just saying when we get there, I need you to think of it like drive-in movie theater. It's going to have two numbers.
Oh, yeah.
A movie, like overall general action movie. Then drive-in late night USA Up All Night movie.
Okay.
Remember that? Remember USA Up All Night with Gilbert Gottfried and Rhonda Shear?
Yeah, and there was also that Sci-Fi Theater 2000 or something
Mystery
like that.
Mystery Science Theater. And there's also Joe Bob Briggs.
So, yeah, it falls into that category of movie.
I love this stuff. So. It's like Return of the Living Dead, like movies like that. They have this had a budget though. Like production-wise, you just had to be like, as a producer, you had to be like, respect. You guys did some stuff.
They probably made it real cheap though, because it is a foreign film, and I think they get away with not as much money doing things. So, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't go there. That was the one thing. And when I watch a movie, I pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Oh, he loves it
because of a background. But in this movie, because I was just thoroughly entertained with the fact of the overdubbing and watching the lips versus the spoken word. I tell you how much I was interested in it. When the movie finished, the first thing I did was go online and tried to find out who the voiceover actors were that did the English, and I couldn't find them. And the reason I did that was because about halfway through the movie, the teacher / assistant to the mad doctor that lives in the apartment there, when she came on. I thought that was Wendy Malick. I did.
Wendy Malick is not doing the VO for this.
It sounds just like her.
I get it, but Wendy Malick.
How do you know?
She's got that good Dream On money.
I mean,
she's got that early '90s Dream On money.
Just Shoot Me.
And Just Shoot Me. Dream On was Sex in the City before Sex in the City, but from a male point of view.
I thought it was her, and I was like, oh my God. Is that? And I could not find who did the VOs, which I think is horrible. I mean, I went to IMDb, and they have listed the sound editors for the English version. 2 different guys there that did it. But there's no cast. There's no voiceover cast for the American dub. And I think that they're getting robbed.
You probably can find it in the credits. Like the rolling credits.
I didn't go that far.
You want to know what the budget is?
On this, I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna guess. Well, if they shot this in Korea,
Which they definitely did.
I'm going to say, and this is a Netflix original, by the way. I'm going to say the budget on this U.S.
Yeah.
was 16 million.
That's so close, it's unreal.
16. What is it?
18.
My name is Andrew Baird, and I'm happy to double check your line producer's work. I consult on your project.
I think the look of this movie, 18 million, is I guess though when I think about it, there's only really 3 real sets.
Yeah, I mean it was.
But the sets are very good.
Yeah, there was a lot of tight shots. I mean, that you could see that it was shot narrow. Not a lot of long lens in this movie. But having said that, half the movie's exterior. That's a big deal. I mean, because you can't really fake that. I mean, you got to make it somewhat real. So, I don't know if they found something that they were demolishing over there and used it for the set, because there was a lot of concrete pillars in this.
There was a train car that was not CGI.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying to you.
I don't think it was. I didn't see a lot of CGI in there, and if it was great.
Well, when they were going through the city trying to get to that first little battle dome.
Yeah. Right.
When they were trying to get there, I was like, that's a train car that they have art directed up. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know, yeah.
That right there, and if we did that in LA, that set would be $10 million.
Netflix, see, I would have saved you $2 million right there. I would have budgeted that movie, not even reading the script, at $16 million, and it cost you 18. Anyway, now I was thoroughly entertained, Ted. I'm sorry. When you threw this at me and I started watching, I was like, oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
I was like, there's no way he'll want to review this.
Well, when what's the guy's name? The main badass tough guy. Yeah.
Let me say it, so I don't want to be disrespectful.
Right.
He's such a good actor.
He was great.
Such a good actor.
He was great. He reminded me a lot of the guy who's opposite Benedict Cumberbatch in Doctor Strange.
I think that's him.
Is it?
Nam-san is his name in this.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure I could be very wrong, and that makes me feel like
Our producer's out today sick, so we don't have anybody checking these, listening to our conversation and then feeding this information in our ears. So you just have to bear with us on this. But it's really funny. They're often sick on record days. I haven't figured that out yet.
No, it's not him. I'm wrong.
Okay. Well,
but he does remind me. Yeah.
Yeah, he reminded me of that. But I do know the Eternals, and you're right. That was so. Yeah, no, it was thoroughly entertaining. I mean, it was hokey at times. I love the. Well, I don't want to spoil it. There's kind of a running relationship gag in this movie.
Yeah.
And I loved it. That was so funny. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was entertaining. It's not going to win any awards. I mean, and it's hard to judge acting. Everybody seemed like they did a great job, but it's difficult because it was VO'd.
Yep.
And dubbed, so you really don't know what they're saying, because words combined with action equals performance, where this is just action plus words, and that's not performance. But it was a good story. If that's what the story was.
Yeah, this is like everything I grew up watching. By the way, from Doctor Strange, that is Benedict Wong, a British-born man of Chinese parents.
Okay, yeah.
So he's a bit more taught and put together and younger than the other gentleman.
Yeah, it just reminded me. I mean, I when I saw the guy, I was like, all right, it's not him, but it reminds me of. And you know what? They play similar characters.
Well, they're both like bigger, more muscular.
Yeah. calm.
Yeah, they
understanding.
like intense understanding. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
Actually,
bigger picture people.
I actually think they're the
characters.
same exact age. Ooh, I bet they fight against each other
So-
for roles.
I bet they do.
Oh, Benedict Wong is a year older than Ma Dong-seok, which is the other guy's name.
All right,
But I love them both.
there you go.
You want to give this a number?
I do. My number is just based off of entertainment's sake.
That's what
I mean,
what we're here for.
I'm not action, drama, comedy, any of it. This is just for pure entertainment. Because it was really hard to take this movie serious.
Okay.
Just because of the voiceover, which everybody loves. Come on, who doesn't love a good dub, right?
They're funny.
Especially when you're dealing with the Asian culture into American culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if it's, Western European or Eastern bloc being dubbed into English because, like Dolph Lundgren and those movies that he would do over there or Jean-Claude. It's one thing. But when you take an Asian movie and you dub it into English, it is funny. I mean, it is because the mouth and the words never sync.
Yeah, they do.
Anyway, from an entertainment standpoint, I am a solid 80 on this movie. I mean, I've just because it was just fun. It's not going to win any awards. It has no value whatsoever, other than the fact that it was just entertaining. That's my number, 80.
93. 93. If you're going, and if we go the other world
Man,
where
you're talking Caddyshack, Animal House level there.
hey,
That's I'm not going to put it in that category.
entertainment.
I'm not going to put it in that category.
I mean, like I am putting it in like the action horror sci-fi world. 93, like so much fun, like reminiscent of all those 80s movies like Death Comes to Frogtown and They Live and all these movies like that. I loved it. And if it were going off like a midnight movie, 99. This movie is perfect.
All right. Well, I'm an 80, so I think I'm more down to earth in the sense of Ted's really into that genre, and I'm not.
Yeah.
But it was that entertaining to me that it deserved an 80. Anyway. All right. Everybody, Ted, you got anything else before we close it up?
Go watch Train to Busan if you haven't seen it.
Or Badland Hunters on Netflix, 1 hour, 47 minutes.
Or The Good, the Bad, and the Weird.
Haven't seen any of those, but I did see Badland
And it's great.
Hunters on Netflix, 1 hour and 47 minutes. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Andrew.
I'm Ted.